Now, let's go to the phone line, shall we? 03717223344. We are talking Danny Ings, or more importantly, you are. Sam's a West Ham fan. Hello, Sammy. Good evening to you.
How you doing? You well, chaps?
I'm great. I'm very well. How are you today?
Yeah, not bad. A lot better after hearing we signed Danny Ings.
All right, okay. So you definitely realised you needed a striker, right? And when you saw that you were in the market for one, and then you were linked to Danny Ings, were you thinking that's perfect, or okay, we've signed him, I'm happy?
I'm just more surprised he managed to get a deal done without it taking 3 weeks. I think he turned around in probably 48 hours. But Scamacca, who's currently out for a month now, and you've got Antonio, who hasn't scored a goal in the Prem. I can't even tell you when. So it makes decent business, and also he's fit. And what I think West Ham fans are not happy with Danny Ings, because they want this star player who's coming from abroad. You need someone who's played in the Premier League, like Arnautovic.
Yeah, I agree.
Come in, hit the ground running, and I think it makes sense.
Do you know what? I agree with you, Sam. I think that Danny Ings is someone who knows how to score goals in the Premier League, has done it on a consistent basis. But as you said there, I know maybe some West Ham fans want the superstar signing, but I don't think it's about the superstar signing. It's about someone who knows the Premier League and getting you out of trouble, which is what you're in. So I think if you give him the opportunities to score goals, I think he will score. And obviously it doesn't help with the likes of Antonio and Bowen. Their form's just deserted them, certainly in front of goal. So I think Danny Ings is a good signing, I really do.
Sam, thanks for your call. Let's go to Louis, a West Ham fan. Hello, Louis.
Hello, how are we doing?
I'm great. Are you all right? You well? You happy with this one?
Yeah, I am. Well, I'm in a bit of two minds about it, to be honest. I mean, First and foremost, we've signed a proven Premier League goal scorer, which we haven't done for so long.
Mm-hmm.
We've tried shopping around in Europe, and it's not really worked out. I mean, you alluded to it earlier. 22 of the strikers we've signed have not even hit a donkey's backside with a banjo. So, we have got a good striker who will score goals. However, like Benty alluded to earlier, we're not making chances for the strikers we've got now. I mean, Scamacca's top draw for me, and he will be good, but we need to give him some service. I'm not overly convinced on Antonio. I think he'll be on his way out anyway. But yeah, give Danny Ings the right service and score goals.
It says on my screen like a brief synopsis of what you're going to say before you come on air, and it says that apparently you've said signing a striker isn't what we needed. Is that right?
Yeah, to a certain extent, we needed somebody. I mean, if we had Scamacca stood up front by himself, given him the right chances, he'd be scoring the goals. But
apart from Wolves, no one has scored less goals in the Premier League than West Ham.
Yeah, because we're not giving the strikers we've got enough chances. I think our non-penalty XG this season isn't half bad. I think we're in the top 6 in the league for that. Don't quote me on that. But that's not the issue. I think we're camping behind the ball. We're playing with 10 men behind the ball, which we've done for the last 2 or 3 years. Whereas when we've been successful, we've gone straight on the counter-attack, turn and play it quickly, go at teams. But now we're trying to play a possession-based football, and we're slow build-up. We are the masters of making nothing out of something. We get in a great position, awful cross, awful pass, and then we're back on the counter.
Louis, let me ask you a question. What's happened to Jared Bowen?
Same thing, I think. He's not been as direct. I mean, he was electric going down that right wing on the counter-attack for the last 2 or 3 seasons. And he's almost having to play as a right wing back a lot of the time now because of the poor form of Soufal, of Johnson and Thilo Kehrer, who we bought in the summer, who was god-awful at right back against Leeds. So I think he's being restricted like that in the way we're playing as well.
Okay, thanks for your call. Let's take as many as we can, shall we? James is also a West Ham fan. Hello, Jimmy.
Good afternoon, Andy. Good afternoon, Darren. You guys all right?
You're good, mate. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Right, we need goals, yeah? We've been waiting, we got Scamacca, but before that, we were waiting like 15 million years, which is what it felt like anyway, for a bloody forward. And we signed 2 in like a couple of transfer windows, so I think it's totally positive. Louis, that last corner, he definitely made a lot of sense. He feels like he might sit next to me when I'm at the London Stadium. So out there for that sort of money, right? And we're talking who's available and who wants to come to West Ham and be a fox in the box, because he is. You get him in the 5 yard and we can hit him. If we can hit him in 5 yards, he'll score goals. At that sort of money, he's a steal, isn't he?
Yeah,
I think so.
Do you know what, quickly as well? He's one of them.
James.
He's one of them as well, Danny Ings. You don't necessarily have to create chances because he's a goal scorer. He'll sniff a chance out.
Yeah,
like it'll ricochet, drop to him, and he'll finish it off.
And also, I think as a defender,
you can't mark that.
No, and I think you'll be more worried playing up against him than you would where West Ham are
100%.
currently. Jason is also a West Ham fan. Hi, Jay.
How you doing, Andy and Darren? How are you doing?
We're good, mate. We're good.
Off you go, pal.
Good to hear. Yeah, I think Ings, absolutely fantastic bit of business, especially in the January window. We're screaming out for goals. 15 goals scored this way in the Premier League. I mean, it's just it's worrying times for West Ham. I mean, how deep we've fallen from last season and the season before that to this season is just mind-boggling. I mean, we've spent so much money. I don't know, players take a little bit of time to bed in. I understand that, but it just seems like a completely different club, and I just can't get my head around it. But I think Ings, great signing. I really do, especially in January.
Yeah.
Okay. I almost feel like, Andy, there's a bit of a hangover from last season. Because, again, we've said it on the show before.
Hell of a hangover, but they're in the bottom three now.
You know, semi-finals of the Europa League, they were pushing for top four. I know that we never thought they were going to get there, but for large portions of the season, they were in and out. So they played a lot of games last season, played really well. I just think it's a bit of a hangover from last season.